Hey guys, what's up? Hamza here, and this is a review of my HP DV6 6107TX notebook. Before we move on, let's check out the specs of this device. Well, this has the 2.0 GHz Sandy Bridge Core i7 processor, 4 GB of RAM, 1 GB of DDR5 graphics card courtesy of AMD Radeon. It also has the Intel HD graphics, which is switchable with the AMD, and it also has 640 gigs of hard drive. And of course, you also get the optical drive, which is capable of writing and reading DVD discs. Okay, that's it for the main specs. We'll get into the details with the review. Now let's check out the exterior of the device. The exterior is the mixture of plastic and steel. The structure is basically made out of plastic, but everywhere you might touch the device is tapered with steel, which gives it kind of a good feel. And it also makes it quite a lot scratch resistant compared to the old models, which were glossy and they catch scratches real easily. But is it fingerprint resistant? I think not. As you can see from these fingerprints right here, they are easy to get and they are hard to clean. So HP definitely has some of their tradition into this notebook right here. And of course, what they also have upgraded is their HP logo, which is now backlit. If you turn on the device, as you can see right here. And of course, it says their full name at the back, Hewlett Packard. And of course, on the ports front, you get an VGA, HDMI, Ethernet, 2 of the USB, 2 headphone jacks, 1 microphone jack on the left side, and on the right side you get their power port, Kensington lock, 2 USB ports, and a very unergonomic optical drive. Now let's open the device. When you open the device, you are greeted by their new and very much improved chiclet style keyboard, which HP calls their island style keyboard, and I kind of like it. The feedback is quite good. The keys are quite springy, but I don't like the size of the device. I think that's because they try to squeeze in the numeric pad with the whole keyboard and give it a chiclet style at the same time, and the result is the keys are a bit smaller to my liking. But overall, good keyboard, and in the end they don't have backlit the keyboard, but they have managed to backlit the trackpad, and that's not good in my opinion. The keyboard should be backlit. No one gives a damn about the backlit trackpad. Okay, now let's move up to the screen. The screen is typical, has a resolution of 1366 by 768. Of course, it's 16 by 9 aspect ratio, so it's good for watching videos. And I also like the color correction on this laptop. The colors are just brilliant. The display gives out very accurate colors, and they are much needed if you are editing photos or watching movies, because you are watching them in their true brilliance rather than compared to my old Dell, which has a lot of blue tint in it. So that's it for the screen. What else do you need in a multimedia laptop? Of course, the speakers. Now this one has Beats audio built right in, and you get better sound experience thanks to the 4 speakers. It has 2 at the back and 2 at the front. So in the end, you're getting marginally better sound compared to the other laptops. It's not a breakthrough, but if you want to experience the breakthrough, you should get to the DV7 that has a built-in subwoofer. This doesn't. But in my opinion, the speakers are quite good and I like them. When you plug in your speakers or your headphones, that's where you find the main difference. The Beats audio also comes with its own console. Now, I'm not much of a sound man, but you get a lot of settings for your sound, and I think that's a good news for people who want to fiddle with their sound settings. As far as I'm concerned, I think the audio quality is slightly better than the normal laptops, but it isn't a breakthrough. So it's not a dedicated sound card that a lot of people have been asking about, but it is better than what you get on the other devices. So what are the speakers? They're good, but not groundbreaking. And speaking of that, now let's talk about the performance of the device. Of course, it's the Windows 7, so I don't need to discuss or tell you about how this works, but I'm gonna talk about the performance of this device. The performance is quite good, especially when you are installing applications, but the boot up times aren't impressive. My old Dell, which had only Core i5 processor, could boot a lot faster than this, and I think that's because Dell didn't have any of the built-in functions or preloaded applications, whereas this laptop is just bombarded with preloaded applications. Let me just show you the tray that it loads when it's booting up, and as you can see, quite a lot of applications right there, and that's why it takes a little bit longer to boot compared to the bare-bone Dells that I'm a customer of. But is it anything that would disturb you? Well, it might, but in my case it's okay. The quad core really comes into power when you're installing applications or doing multitasking, and as you can see, the score here is quite promising. It doesn't give any lower score or anything that would disappoint you. Of course, that 5.9 sounds disappointing, and that's only because the hard drive is only 5400 rpm one. You can solve that problem by putting in the 7200 rpm one, or opt for that when you're buying the laptop. So on the performance front, very good. And the only thing that bothers me on this laptop is the optical drive. The button is so much unergonomic and a pain to use, and I think that's the only thing that is unergonomic onto this device. Otherwise, this laptop is fine, the price is fine, and I think one of the good ones available in the market for Windows. Of course, it's not the cheapest one. You can get a lot cheaper models even from HP themselves when you look into the ProBook series, but in Pavilion and in the multimedia series, I think this is worth it. This is the best price you can get for a Windows 7 device. So with that, now let's round it all together into our conclusion. So what is it? It's a beautiful machine with a reasonable price tag, has reasonable amount of performance. The screen has very corrected colors, so I like that for editing photos and watching videos. And last but not least, let's talk about their switchable graphics. Now, I'm not much of a graphic user. I only use this graphics card when I'm using Photoshop or any editing software, and I think it worked pretty well. Now at that time, when it switches to the graphics, the battery times goes down dramatically. Normally you can easily get around 4 to 5 hours of battery time from this laptop, even though it only has a 6-cell battery, and I think that's impressive. The 4 hours battery come from the courtesy of the new Sandy Bridge processor, which pretty much shares every operation, and thus saving electricity doing that instead of multiple components consuming electricity at the same time. The graphics are okay. I'm not much of a gaming person, so don't take my word on that. Check that out from some gamer. But in my opinion, this is quite a good laptop, and it's definitely worth the price. So that's it for my review of the HP Pavilion DV6 notebook. I hope you liked it, and I hope this was helpful to you. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to ask any question, leave that in the comment section below or message me. And stay tuned to my channel, as I will upload a lot other reviews of other devices and other machines that I've just bought. Thank you so much for watching.